Hi, good morning. We are going to continue with A Boy Called Bat. You did the assignment and read chapter 12 yesterday, so I will read chapter 13, 14, and 15 today for you. Chapter 13, What's in a Name? The enclosure was nothing like Baby Cake's enclosure. It was just a dog kennel, a smallish one, blue plastic with a handle on the top and a black crate door and that locked. But inside, Mom had made a nice nest out of old ripped t-shirts. Did you use any of mine, Bat asked. I did, Mom said. I hope that's okay. It's better than okay, Bat answered. If the t-shirts still have my scent, then maybe the kit would bond with me. I don't think we could get your scent out of your t-shirts if we tried, Bat, said Janie. That's teasing, said Bat. But he was peering into the enclosure and didn't feel very upset. Did you use any of mine, Mom? Janie asked. No, Mom said. Don't worry. I don't see him, Bat said. I don't see him anywhere. He's definitely in there, Bat, Mom said. The door is latched and everything, and he's still too little to walk anyway. His eyes aren't even open yet. Bat unlatched the door and stuck his hand inside. Yes, there was the kit, tiny and warm, wrapped in a fold of fabric. He's safe, Bat said. Okay, Bat, Mom said. Latch up the cage and go wash your hands. Let's have a snack. At the table, Janie was smearing peanut butter on crackers. She had gotten a second butter knife for Bat. Bat loved peanut butter, but he could never pack peanut butter sandwiches for school lunches because Lynn was allergic to peanuts. The entire Saw-Wit school was a nut-free zone. Janie passed her roll of crackers to Bat. Mom had heated water in the kettle and poured out 3 cups of tea. Tea and crackers and peanut butter. Wonderful. I wonder if Stripey will like peanut butter. Stripey would like peanut butter. He said, trying to be casual about the name. You know, when he's all grown up. Stripey, said Janie. Is that what you're calling the skunk? It's a good name, Bat said. It's really good name. Skunks have stripes. I'm not sure it's a good idea to be naming the skunk, Mom said. She looked concerned, with little wavy wrinkles across her squished up forehead. If you name him, it's going to be too easy to get attached. And remember, he's only staying with us for a few more weeks. Besides, said Janie, who says you get to name him? I'll bet I could come up with a way better name than Stripey. No, you couldn't, Bat said, stabbing the knife into the peanut butter jar. Stripey is the best name for a skunk. You always want to give things dumb, obvious names, Janie said. Bat felt sharp, hot tears in his eyes. Do not, he whispered. When you were 4, you named your teddy bear Barry, and last year, the stray cat kept coming into our yard. You named her Patches. She was a calico. Bat said calicos look like they are covered in patches. Janie said, Mom, be nice. Bat doesn't mind, do you, Bat? Asked Janie. Of course, Bat minded, but he didn't want Janie to know that she had hurt his feelings. Well, what do you name the kit? He asked. I don't know. Give me a minute to think about it. Janie munched on crackers and Mom sipped hot tea, but Bat just waited to hear what Janie would come up with. He knew it wouldn't be as good as Stripey, and he couldn't wait to tell her so. I've got it, Janie said after a minute. Mom, he was born last Thursday, right? Mom said. And we want him to be big and strong. We're learning about mythology in school. I think we should name the skunk after the biggest, strongest, neurotic god. We should name him Thor. Thor, asked Mom. The thunder god, Janie said. It's perfect, see, because they used to celebrate Thor's Day, and now we call that Thursday. And that's when the skunk was born. Thor, Bat whispered. Sometimes Janie was annoying. Sometimes she was a mean tease. But sometimes, Bat thought, she was brilliant. Chapter 14, Sleeping Arrangements. I want to sleep on the couch next to Thor. No, Bat, you need to sleep in your own bed, said Mom. Then I want Thor to sleep in my bed with me. You can't sleep with the skunk, Bat. What if you rolled over in the night and crushed him? I would never do that, Bat said. He never would. Bat hunted the skunk. Thor, interrupted Bat. His name is Thor. Mom rubbed her forehead. Fine, she said. Thor can't sleep in your bed. Thor is a wild animal. Wild animals don't sleep in your bed. But in the wild, Thor wouldn't sleep alone, Bat argued. He would sleep in a pile with all his brothers and sisters all cuddled up. I'm glad people don't sleep like skunks, Janie said. Her hair was damp from the shower. She was wearing her favorite pajamas, the one with all the unicorns. Each unicorn was doing something different. One rocked out with a guitar, another was reading a book, another wore a chef's hat and was flipping eggs in a pan. The only thing they had in common was that they were all unicorns. Janie, did you know that herd of unicorns is called a blessing? Bat asked. Yes, Bat, of course I know that. Every time I wear these pajamas, you tell me that. I didn't know if you remembered, Bat said. You're not the only one who remembers things, Bat, said Janie, and then stomped off to her room. Bat turned back to Mom. Please, he begged. No, said Mom in a firm voice. But Bat knew Mom's firm voice. Sometimes if he pushed hard enough, he could change it into a soft voice. And that one that let him have his way. I could be the one to feed him, and you could sleep all night, Bat said. I know how to do it. Who do you think took care of you when you were a baby and had to eat every 2 hours, Bat? Mom asked. I took care of you and Janie. I could take care of one little skunk. If you let me help, Bat said, bargaining now, I'll promise to scrape all the extra food off my plate from now on and put it in a dishwasher after dinner. Mom smiled. I thought it was too gross to look at leftover food stuck on a plate. If it's too gross, Bat said. It is too gross, Bat said, but I'll do it anyway, even if it made him gag, even if it made him throw up. Besides, Bat said, I helped Thor go to the bathroom after he finished eating. If I can do that, I can do other gross things. Mom had taught Bat the baby skunks don't know how to go to the bathroom on their own when they're little babies. If they don't pee and poop, they can die. In nature, their mother would help them learn, but since Thor was an orphan, every time he drank formula, someone had to hold him up and rub his bottom with a wet cotton swab until he pooped and peed. At school, Bat had been helping to clean up Baby Cape's enclosure and for a while now, and poop and pee were a part of having an animal. I'll tell you what, little Bat, Mom said, and her voice was softer now. Thor has to sleep in his enclosure, and I'm going to take care of him during the night. But you can be in charge of his daytime feedings when we are at home. And tomorrow after school, instead of staying home with Janie, how about you come by the clinic? I'm going to weigh and measure Thor to make sure he's getting enough to eat and you can help. Okay, said Bat. For now, but when Thor gets big enough, I couldn't squish him. In bed, let's revisit this conversation. That was something Mom said when she wanted Bat to know that they weren't done talking about something, but Bat wanted Mom to know that he wasn't giving up on sleeping with Thor. Mom laughed. You drive a hard bargain, she said, and I don't think I'm going to forget about the dishes. Chapter 15. Dr. Jerry DeRue. Later in his room, when he was supposed to be sleeping, Bat climbed out of bed and pulled his animal encyclopedia from the shelf. He flipped to the S section and found the page labeled skunk. At the top of the page was a glossy picture of a large black and white skunk nosing along a patch of dirt. In the background of the picture were hundreds of white and yellow daisies. Below the picture were a bunch of questions and answers about skunks. Why do skunks spray? Skunks spray an oil or liquid from glands underneath their tail as a defense. Their spray doesn't cause any real damage, but boy, it is stinky. A skunk smell can be detected by a human from a mile away. Where do skunks live? Skunks can make many places their home. Abandoned burrows constructed by other animals, a hollow log, even underneath your house. What are skunks' predators? Lots of mammals, including red foxes, coyotes, and domestic dogs, will attack a skunk if they get hungry enough, though only as a last resort, because it's difficult to attack a skunk without smelly reminder of it. But aerial predators, large birds like owls, don't care so much about the scent. For one thing, it's hard for a skunk to spray an attacker from the sky. For another, many birds of prey have little to no sense of smell. Finally, Bat got to the last and most important question. Do skunks make good pets? Skunks are wild animals, and wild animals belong in the wild. But according to the world skunk expert, Dr. Jerry DeGrue, head of DeGrue Institute for Betterment of Skunks and Skunk Reputations, while skunks in general do not make good pets, what makes a good pet is a good pet caretaker. Bat looked at the book. He put it back on the shelf, right where he always put it, next to his Lego pyramid. Dr. Jerry DeGrue, world skunk expert. Bat liked that name. He liked doctors because they usually knew lots of useful things. He liked the name Jerry because it was the same as the funny mouse in the old cartoons, as one he always outsmarted the cat. And DeGrue reminded him of dragon, of course, and was probably no such thing as dragons, but there might be. Dr. Jerry DeGrue, that would someone Bat would like to meet. And that is the end of chapter 15. Tomorrow you will have chapter 16 on Google Classroom to do on your own and finish the assignment. Have a good day.